Hello, my name is Dave Dixon. I live up in Northern California. If you just found me, thanks for finding me. If you're coming back, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. I'm going to be going into another little series of videos that I want to, I want to actually do some work and study and prepare for it. And so some of what I do now is I do like to ask questions to AI because I just think it's kind of cool, to see what they come up with. And I remember a guy, I remember some people, they have such little savings and they're ready to retire. I don't think I'm ever gonna retire in the traditional sense, but at some point I will have to start taking Social Security, and I will have to, cut back. I've already cut back actually quite a bit. So when I asked AI, how do I retire with little savings? Because I was thinking about making it like a public service kind of video for people that are in that situation. And I thought about it. I could see that it was thinking about it, and it came back, no answer. So I was like, oh shit, that's not too good for people. So then I wrote in there, is living in your car a good option if you don't have money for rent? And it was kind of interesting because he came up with some pretty good ideas, and a lot more different than what I see whenever I'm watching Vanlife or people living in their cars. And I wanted to go through some of them, and I'm going to go deeper into them in later videos. So the challenges that you face, in doing that, first one is legal issues, because there are some places that are against the law to sleep overnight, and you will get that knock. They call it the knock, where you're sleeping or you're, in your car, and someone comes and knocks and says, hey, you can't park here. Or sometimes they just give you a ticket, or they just ticket your car because they don't even want to approach you. The other one is registration and insurance. So if you're living in your car, you have to be careful about maintaining your registration on your car and carrying insurance. Now, some people are like, well, I don't have any money, so I can't do that. Well, if you don't do that, you're going to end up with bigger fines, and you're not supposed to be driving around if you don't have insurance. Some of the safety concerns that you have in living in your car is health risks. Heart attack, you're there by yourself, or just generally taking care of yourself, brushing your teeth and making sure you take the medication you're supposed to. Another safety concern would be weather conditions. It is uncomfortable because you're trying to put everything that you have into like in my van, it was 66 square feet is what I had to work with. And the house I live in is 3,300 square feet. So I don't know how you get all that stuff in there. Well, you just can't. You can't get it all in there. So when you have to downsize like that, you got to sell everything that you have. Some practical tips that I thought about is you need to get a mailbox. Whether it's going to be UPS mailbox, whether it's going to be a postal service mailbox, or whether it's going to be one of these new services where you can have your mail go there and you don't even have to be there. So some of the guys that are living in the Philippines, they do this where they'll show the front of the envelope, and then you can say whether you want them to open it up and take pictures of what's inside. So if it's something that looks like it's a check or something, you might say, yeah, I want to look inside, and then they're going to charge you a little bit more. But the cool thing about it is you're not even around. People think that is your that you're responding to it. And also the other thing is that you get a physical address. So it may be the same physical address as all the other mailboxes, but it looks like a physical address. And sometimes you need to have that to have checks sent there. A lot of guys are getting additional insurance checks or things like that are going to these post office boxes. Another practical tip is the safe parking. You really have to kind of research wherever you're at, but some of the ones that are pretty good, in terms of places that you could stay and not get into trouble, would be rest areas. In fact, that's what they want you to do, is to sleep in a rest area, not on the side of the road. So a lot of these rest areas, that is a place where you could go and you could, have some safe sleep, uninterrupted, hopefully, safe sleep. Another place is 24-hour businesses. A lot of guys, if they are living in their car, they may belong to, say, 24-hour fitness, and they may park in an inconspicuous place, and maybe they'll even have their card, portrayed on the inside of their windshield to show that they are a member of the 24-hour fitness. And it could be a 24-hour fitness that's all over the whole United States. You pay an extra fee, but it gives you a place to get up in the morning, go get some exercise, probably get some coffee in there, and take a shower, and keep yourself clean, which is you're going to feel a lot better. And then there are just some designated overnight camping areas that you may be able to find. If you're living in a car, you're going to have to stay organized, because you're trying to put a lot of stuff into a little area. And I think for men, this is probably easier in a way, because we think in terms of boxes. I give the example that if I'm out working in my garage, and then my wife wants to come out and talk about my mother-in-law, it literally feels like, okay, wait a minute, I have to stop what I'm doing, put away my garage working out box in there, put everything back in it, then I have to get the box that has my mother-in-law's name on it, I'm talking mentally, and open it up, and now I can deal with whatever she's talking to me about. So when you are in a small area, having boxes that fit an area, and then one can be your shower, your shower stuff. So it could be in a bag, so you can just grab it and then go inside and wash up. Or if you go to a gas station, or you go to a Target. Targets are great, where you can walk in there. Walmart, where you can walk in there and you just carry your bag. Sometimes it's good to have a clear bag. That way it looks like two things. It looks like you're an employee, and it also looks like they can see what's inside of it, that you don't have any stuff that you're taking out. So the clear bags, I do recommend that. Then the last thing is, and you may not want to hear this, is access to resources. So you're like, well, I'm not poor. I still have money. I'm still making money. I still have a car. Okay, but you're kind of homeless, okay? You're a little bit homeless. So you're without a brick and stick place. So I think some of the practical things that you have to do, and in terms of access to resources, is you need to start looking around and checking out the food bank and see what they do have, because they have food there, and it's for you. It's for a person that's in your situation. So don't feel embarrassed about it. I mean, at least you're not living in a tent, you have a car. So I remember I'd gone to the food bank. I was down in that area in Stockton, and they're getting ready to open, and I remember it was one car after another, and people were all sitting in their cars, one car after another, to access the food bank. The other thing is shelter. A lot of times there are shelter places open. I know I have a nephew, and he was in a hotel room that was provided for by the city, because he's homeless, and they had some minimum requirements that you had to do, to stay in that hotel room. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to stay within the rules, and so he got kicked out. But I was thinking, man, there's some people that would really be nice to be able to have a place that they could stay. And then another place is to start checking out social services. You need to seek assistance, to make sure that if there is anything out there available to you, that you're taking care of it. Considered shared housing. You may not want to be a roommate type situation. You don't like roommates, you don't like people, but you're at a point when you're living in your car that you may need to consider that. You just have to be careful about what you're getting into. And then another last thing is temporary solutions. Now, a lot of times you may have already said, oh, they're not going to let me stay there, or I can't do that here, or I can't do that there. I know a lot of times for me, when approached, it would be hard for me to say, can can I move into your house? You know, that's kind of tough. But if you were to say, hey, can I, do you mind if I just stay overnight? You know, or can I just stay at this time? If you're more trustworthy and people don't know you're living in a car, you may even look into taking care of people's houses or taking care of people's pets. I remember watching one lady, and she was actually a professional pet sitter. I guess she was certified to do it and everything. She advertised in the city that she was in, and then she would just pull up in her van, which had all kinds of like dogs and stuff on it, so it did look legit. And then she would stay in their house, you know, and watch their pets when they went on vacation. And then she'd have another one lined up, and she'd have another one. So this is all stuff you got to think out of the box. And I want to get into more of those individually, but I just want to do an oversight on it so you can see where I'm coming from on this video. So they'll be listed with the same title, but maybe I'll even do volume 1, volume 2, volume 3 as I go through it. But I want to research it and just have my thoughts more gathered on each individual thing. So thank you for finding me. Appreciate your time for watching. Subscribe if you can. That way we can stay together. And I look forward to talking with you more in the future. Thank you much, and have a great day.